who has stopped the Meiteis from gaining access? There's no law forbidding Meiteis from going into the hills. Reformation of quote-unquote reclaiming the hills. You need a toolbox which you can use to recalibrate things.
One of the propaganda that has been used by the Meitei people is that 90% of Manipur is hills and it is accessible only to the Kuki and the Naga people, while we have access to only 10% of the land. And this is one of the many reasons why we need such kind of initiatives like Arambai Tenggol, so that we can flush out the quote-unquote illegal cookies out into Burma. That is a huge point, or maybe we can say a political narrative that has been espoused from time to time in the last 45 days or so. So how do you see it? Is there any truth to this kind of insinuations?
Yeah. Look, who has stopped the Meiteis from gaining access? I mean, moving into, traveling to the hills or going to the hills. No one has stopped them, right? There's no law forbidding Meiteis from going into the hills. The only law is that they cannot buy land in the tribal inhabited hills, right? And that is a safeguard that is given to the tribal communities for the protection of the land and livelihood, right? Like many other communities have constitutional safeguards in India, they too have the safeguards, right? And that's understandable in many ways, I would say. But what the Meiteis feel is that they are a majority, but they are in a way they cannot buy land in the hills. They have to be confined. Their assets have to be confined to the 10% of the entire territorial land. So I think they feel that they are being turned for all practical purposes into a disadvantageous minority in Manipur. But this is, I would say, this does not have any basis in reality, because if you see, as I said, the politics, the society, economics and culture, if you see all these four parameters in Manipur, there is undoubtedly a strong Meitei dominance in these four parameters because of deep historical reasons, right? Much like the upper class Hindu Assamese in Assam have dominance in the state bureaucracy, in the state government. Similarly, the Meiteis have that kind of dominance. It's comparable in that sense. So I think that's the sense. Now the point is that in order to execute this, in order to implement this, sort of reformation. I'm calling it reformation because from the Meitei point of view, reformation of quote unquote reclaiming the hills for the Meiteis. You have to have a narrative. You cannot implement a program of reformation, radical reformation or radical reclamation without what is known as a political or a cultural toolbox. To use a sociological term, right? You need a toolbox which you can use to recalibrate things.